Rocky Mountain Constructions, or short RMC, is a roller coaster manufacturer from Hayden in the state of Idaho, US. Known and loved by many fans for the wildest and craziest remodelings of old wooden roller coasters. This is what RMC does since 2011, but founded already in 2001. In this video we will show you now where and how the roller coasters of Rocky Mountain Constructions are built.
My name's Tevin Hamilton. I've been here for about 9 years. Kind of just do business development and ride support related things right now. It's kind of a day-to-day thing. Some days are different than others. It's never dull. It's always changing, but it's a good place to be. So RMC was founded by our owner Fred Grubb, who you guys probably know. He's kind of a cowboy that got us to the point where we're at now. Early 2000s came up, kind of worked at the local Silverwood theme park and started some stuff with them, and then came up with the own iBox track that we are so known for. And since then we've been coming out with the reprofiles you guys know about, like Hershey's Wildcats Revenge just came out. Just kind of moving forward with some groundbreaking stuff and trying to get going with just more innovative things. Right now we're kind of just based out of Hayden, Idaho. We actually just acquired Larson International, who is known for spin rides, flat rides down in Texas. So that's something really exciting for us to kind of expand our portfolio and get more of the kiddie ride, family ride sections going.
But not like the other ones, like that crazy, maybe on the kiddie ride?
No, not so much those. No. Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Cool. So maybe we're just getting in and take a look what you can show us and what we can see today.
Absolutely, let's do it. So this is our machine shop. So basically how we start out is get a lot of our raw materials that'll come in here. Aluminum, bronze, steel in general. Good thing about us, we produce 90% of our parts in-house. So all of our train parts come out of here. See, like we got some like wheel carriers, and we'll get over, you'll kind of see what we've got in the shop as far as train related stuff goes. But yeah, basically comes in here is like raw material, just raw slabs and stuff. And Chris and the guys will kind of take it. We'll have order work forms for them to cut it to what part we want it to. And then from there it kind of goes to, you know, coatings or heat treat or whatever afterwards. But yeah, we can walk around and check it out. Yep, so these are our restraint arms for swing axle and legacy. That's just the raw part, and we'll take that and go get anodized and all the other processes that follow this. So these guys are just, so these are like, you know, our chain dogs for the train. This is what goes up underneath. It starts obviously as raw material. We machine it out to the bores that it needs to be. And then from here it'll kind of go into the weld shop and get fabbed up to the actual beams themselves and then installed on the trains across the street. They're so shiny when they come out.
Yes.
Road right now. This is our kind of headquarters main office. It's kind of where everything starts. Yeah. Let's see, we'll probably, we can go to the assembly shop next. It's basically, machine shop like what we just walked through, yes. And then this is our assembly shop. So all of our train related things.
Okay.
So what these guys are working on right now, this is a legacy train. This is kind of going through a refurbishment phase for these trains, or these coaches I should say. These guys are kind of wrapping up in the rebuild process. Teardown's already happened, went through NDTs, kind of got through all the loops of figuring out what train needs. So those guys will get that built up, and then we'll get it shipped back out. You can see, so we have a bunch of shelves over here. So that's all of our inventory parts. So we are actually, after the purchase of the roller coaster and the cycling of it, we support fully with parts afterwards. Super helpful for the parks. We also, like we're doing right now, offer the refurb services in-house or on-site. That's also super helpful for them. Yes, exactly. Yep. Kind of helps if parks don't have capacity or if they're busy with other stuff. So yeah, and then there's more parts upstairs. You know, we've got our Raptors, the single coach trains, like the one at Stunt Pilot. Did you guys go there yet?
Stunt Pilot? No.
Today.
Today? Oh yeah.
We will visit.
You're going there later today?
Yeah.
Cool. Right on.
So you can work on from all the sides. You can spin it completely. That's cool. So he's having it on the. This is the opposite side, the downside, is it?
Correct.
Yep.
Cool.
I think this is for the lap bars, is it?
Correct. Yep. So these are our cylinders for the lap bars. These trains specifically get 8 cylinders per coach. So
seems pretty much.
Yeah. There's a lot of redundancy in them, which obviously there has to be, right? Yeah. So like I said, these are legacy coaches. So over in the weld shop, we'll kind of take you over there and see what's going on over there. But basically these go to some machine shop we just came from. The raw materials will come in. We'll cut them to length or machine them to length or whatever they need to be. It will go to forming. So this starts as just a normal flat sheet of metal, and then we'll form it to what it needs to be. And then our guys over at the weld shop will lay all these welds on per drawings, of course. Gussets, everything, and then they kind of build it up, and then from there it goes actually to our paint booth, our sandblast and paint booth shop, and then once they're done with that, it comes over here to get assembled. So this is our weld shop. As you can see, it's pretty bare right now. Guys aren't here. It's Friday. We're just doing some 410s right now. Usually it's 5 full 10s, 50 hours a week. But yeah, to get started, it's the same kind of idea as the machine shop. So we'll get the raw material to come in through this door, and then we'll have our guys. We've got 6 7.5 ton overhead cranes in this shop. It's really helpful to have that many cranes because people are always fighting over, I need this crane and I need that crane. But they'll come in, we get various sizes of sheet metal, we stage it over here. Got 4 45-foot plasma tables that these guys pretty much cut everything that we make off of. So that the assembly shop we were just in the top of that, there's the engineering group. And so basically what they'll do is, it'll go from our designers and the vision of it to the engineers. It'll become actual files. Those guys transfer it over here. These guys are able to punch it over into these systems, and then it's able to cut out how we need it to.
Yeah.
And then basically, so raw material starts like this, come out and be cut into our, walls, bottoms, tops, wheel boxes. And then from there, so as you can see, so we got some, like our guy Elliot and a couple other guys, they'll stage it, mark it how it needs to be, direction of travel. And then it'll come out here, and you can kind of see those rails over there. We'll start building it from the ground up.
So this becomes this?
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
So we kind of build it to the profile of what it's going to be. You kind of see those stands under there. Basically, it's just rough points that we get them, and then we laser them in once they're close. So that we're basically replicating this track as it sits on the structure in the field. Okay. So it's built to profile, helps out with that smooth effect too. This is one piece, right? And then, so this will match the curve of these stands and the heights that we set them. And then you'll come back through with these walls and set them on top. You basically just build it one sheet at a time.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, so that you can also adjust the angle with these. and how it kind of curves with what the track's supposed to do. Really, this is just, these are putting it in place for us to be able to build it. Because if we just set it on, you know, the flat ground and this was a curved piece, there'd be no way. It just gets us close enough. Yep. Yeah, I mean, they slap together pretty easy. I mean, and that's the thing, like our thickness of steel is not something that is really hard to maneuver. There's a bunch of different ways that we've learned to manipulate this stuff, and just like anybody's craft that they've been doing for years, we get pretty good at it. Yep, so over here you kind of see, it's kind of dark, but this is where we set our stands to height, which those rails obviously stand on. And that kind of helps us, like I say, put the track where it needs to be and build it up from there. Yeah, basically this is the cars area, so where we were just looking at over in the assembly shop and that refurb they're doing. Those chassis are actually built here, started here, welded up, go through inspections, and they actually come out something like this. So this one's not actually welded up yet, but this is pretty much tacked together, ready to weld, it looks like. So those guys will go through, do their welds, and then we'll actually have our third party come in to do our inspections. And then from there they can go to heat treat or whatever the following process is. Same idea here too. It's kind of a rotisserie we made up just so these guys can spin them and weld them.
To weld them, yeah.
To weld them and inspection, yeah. We'll leave them on there so when the third party comes in to inspect, it's easier to twist. And
so they just take a look at the weld.
Yeah, visual inspections, mag particle testing, stuff like that. Yep. Usually right here, this is kind of where we'll do like our structure. So like the columns, the red columns you'll see up at Silverwood for Stunt Pilot. That's usually done right here. We've got, you know, rotisseries. We've got usually a couple guys using kind of like a laser system to put stuff together. And then we'll come back through and weld it to where it needs to be and do our checks afterwards. And right here, we usually, this is where we'll splice stuff together. So kind of like, so those rails over there, you've got like, let's say track 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3. So joint 2, so 2 and 2 come together. However it is, if it's a big bow, then, you know, grab sometimes that crane and this crane for one for each rail, bring them together, and then we'll put that joint about, you know, yay height, and we'll have the guys mock up that joint to make it as smooth as possible, sand it, so then in the field you don't feel a thing. Yeah, you kind of marry two pieces together to make that joint sweet, so then when it is out in the field, they don't have any problems. It should just butt up, bolt up, and be good. And it's kind of fun because it's like, so for iBox, I'm sure as you guys know, like there's that last roll for Untamed, like the just big twisted parts. So that gets pretty rowdy in here when you've got one twisted part that goes up to the roof and another one over here. Yeah, so, but it's all kind of mocked up, so the same idea is over there, like we make it sit as it would on the structure. We do the same thing over here when they splice it together. And then, so when they put it together again, it's a nice seamless process. Yeah, so this is where basically after the track shop stuff is done and splicing, they'll bring those rails over here or structure, whatever it is. It'll go into our sandblast booth, which is here. So those doors actually open, and it has a seam on the top where we can actually run our pieces in with this crane and then drop them on some stilts. And so they'll sandblast, it'll come out, and then they usually stage and start taping for paint. And then this booth down here, which we'll go check out, that has the same kind of seam up top where they can run rails in, paint it, and then restage it for shipping. It's cool to watch it go from start to finish throughout the whole operation. So like it kind of goes from the first office, you know, talking to people, trying to get people to come in as customers. And once that stuff gets signed, then it goes to the assembly shop upstairs in the engineering room. And you'll see, you know, the vision come to life. That goes over to the track shop, gets built, spliced, comes here, gets painted, shipped, done deal. And all the while we're still doing like the train stuff too, because we build our trains too, right? So it's kind of like the flow of this shop or the whole operation for track is actually opposite for trains. Like it starts over there and then ends up over there. It's kind of interesting. But right here, this is actually a motor table. So like the big sprocket at the bottom of the lift hill and the chain that goes on it, the gearbox, all that stuff actually attaches to that. So you gotta imagine pretty much like right here, sprocket will sit, and it's, say, like, you know, your lead-in's here, and the lift hill actually is going up to the top there to your other sprockets.
But as a general question, so you do nearly everything in-house, so what you don't do in-house is wheels, probably?
Yeah, there's specific buyout parts. The wheels actually, like, those are actually in-house too, because the hubs need to be machined.
Oh,
so you'll have certain parts that we do.
The chain?
The chain, that's typically bought elsewhere.
Yeah.
There's always some stuff that we can't. There's just people that have figured it out that do it better than us.
That's the point.
Yep. For one, the shop's pretty empty today, and there's nobody here, obviously. But you'll usually have just tracks stacked. This whole floor space, like we would have had to walk against that back wall, or this wall, because it's pretty full. Yeah, just in between jobs right now. And
so what is the general time that it takes when I order a roller coaster route?
Yeah. So like for a Raptor, like Stunt Pilot, what you're gonna go see, there's usually like 4 to 6 months of engineering, and then there's overlap there between the start of manufacturing and engineering. So let's say total there's 4 to 6 for engineering, and then it's usually around 8 months to manufacture. So through the shops, in here, everything else. And then after that, again, for Stunt Pilot, it's like 4 to 5 months for install.
So like a year for the pre-work and to install.
That's probably fair. I mean, yeah, it just depends on the ride, the length, the layout, where it's at. That's also a huge factor. And if it's overseas, shipping takes some time. If it's local, right, 20 minutes up the road, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. For iBox, it's a little different. So like, you got to think, right, structure related stuff for Stunt Pilot is just columns here and there. For our iBox, it's wood lattice or steel lattice structure. So there's a lot more structure, there's a lot more time put into the process of actually installing. So install is usually longer. Manufacturing is, I would probably say, 8 to 10 months for that as well. But then install can be around 10 months versus 4 to 5.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you got a lot of wood there. When you got these, so where is the wood from? So do you buy it, or?
Yes, yeah. That's
because
not something.
I didn't see wood anywhere here.
No. Yep. We the wood's bought out elsewhere. If it is steel lattice, however, we'll do that in house.
Okay.
So that's just a lot of holes that we got to punch. If they want stuff made out of weathering steel, then we don't have to paint it. But if it isn't, then obviously we'll do that in house. Yeah, I guess this is the kind of the last stop of it as far as our processes go. So stuff will come out the door once it's painted, and then we'll usually have trucks waiting here. They'll pull in that west side gate and stage right here, and we kind of, like, every truck is different in how we have to load it, so we got to have like guys that are really good at it, because like I said back there, like, you got rails that twist and straight rails that you got to kind of combine to put on one truck safely. So it can be a process, but that's usually where it ends, and then they get shipped out and to the site. So
thank you for everything, Tevin.
Absolutely.
Maybe do you have any last words for our viewers that you want to tell them?
I guess go check out our rides. We're gonna, obviously, Area Force 1 just opened up. You got Wildcats Revenge over at Hershey Park. That's opening actually today.
Oh, really?
Today. It's the second, right? Yeah. So they're opening up today. They've had media day already. We've received a lot of good compliments so far. So if we can get riders out to that one.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, guys.